Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about things that made me go, no, just disappointing products that didn't work for me. I've done a few of these disappointing products videos over the years and I always start them in the same way, in saying that if you see something here that you like, that's great. Not everything is going to work for everybody, and I've watched so many of these videos from other YouTubers where they be giving out about something and I'm like, what's wrong with you? Well, I love that product. So it just shows that not everything's going to work for everybody. I have my reasons as to why I'm not mad about these. Ooh. Let's get stuck in, shall we? The first one is controversial. I didn't like this. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. When this first came out, loads of people that I followed on Instagram were using it, were loving it. I love them people, so I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to try them out. And they very kindly sent me out shade 3. First of all, I went in to get colour matched in town, and it was an experience in the fact that I just got a colour matched here, and then it was like, okay, you're shade 3, and I was like, okay. And it did look like it kind of, well, so my neck is really pale anyway, so a lot of the times, like if I was to get a foundation that to match my neck, it would be like the palest of the palest. So all I ever do is I just bring my foundations down my neck. I do it all the time, it's grand. So anyway, I got colour matched and to put it here, and that was grand. And then they sent it out to me, and I applied it onto my face and went about my life. I remember looking at my skin like later that day going, am I after changing colour? And I thought, no, sure, listen, I was out like in the sun. That's probably all it was. Then another day I was applying it, and then I always put my foundations onto the back of my hand, work from there, went about my life. And then I'd say about half an hour later I looked at my hand and it was like absolute orange. And then I got a fresh swatch of this, put it beside it, and like the difference was ridiculous. It was so pale, like the fresh swatch compared to when it had dried down. So then I was like researching it at the time. I know this is going into like a whole big hoo-ha, but I just want to tell you my story. I was looking up and I was talking to some makeup artists who work for Charlotte Tilbury, and they were saying that it was important that when you get colour matched to stay there like at the counter for about 5 minutes for it to dry down. And I was like, okay, well, like nobody told me that. But then they very kindly sent me out shade 2, which is lighter, and it's a perfect match. When it dries down, I still have to bring it down my neck a little bit, but that's fine. I had a lot of people kind of ask me what colour I was, and I was like, I actually can't tell you this because you need to go in and get colour matched to see if it oxidises on your skin the way it did with me. Style's grand. So even when I was trying the original shade, I was like, and I was like, am I missing something? Everybody else is like, this is the best foundation that has ever existed in the history of the world, and I was like, it's all right, like. So then people were kind of talking about it more and more, and they were saying that they had to like freshly moisturise, and then they had to put the Hollywood Flawless filter on, and then they had to like apply it with their fingers, and then with the sponge, and I was like, are you joking me? Like. So I start doing that. I was like, right. Oh, that was loud. I was like, right, I will freshly moisturise my skin. I'll then put the Hollywood Flawless filter. Then I'll apply it with my fingers, and you only need the barest amount because it's quite a thick formula, but it's really, really pigmented. And I applied it. Did I apply it with my fingers? I can't even remember now at this point. I haven't reached for it at all. And like and then used a sponge. I know I definitely used my usual Sosu sponge to work it into the skin. And like, it was all right. I feel like the effort that you have to go to make that foundation look grand on your skin, it's just not worth the effort. Like, because there are times in the morning I'll wake up, I'll wash my face, I'll moisturise, I'll go have my breakfast, go get ready, and then I'll put my foundation on. It could be like a half an hour, 45 minutes after I initially moisturise. I don't want to have to do my moisture, and then I have to like put the Flawless filter underneath, and then I have to do, and then no, I just want to be able to go out the door. I felt that it exacerbated my pores here. It just didn't sit nicely there, is what I'm trying to say. I think if you've drier skin, you might struggle a little bit to make it look nice because it's quite a dry consistency. If you want me to do like a full video on this, will you let me know in the comments below? Because I have promised to give this shade 3 to my friend because I know that it will match her, and I'll do it showing shade 2 in action. Yeah, let me know because I don't want to like talk. I've been talking here for 6.5 minutes about one product, so. I'm wearing a 5-year foundation at the moment, and it's nicer than that, I think. Actually, I have one more foundation that I wanted to talk about, and again, this is something that I've seen a lot of people online raving about, and I just don't think it's for me. I don't think it's for my skin type, and it's the Clarins Milky Boost. Now, let me say something. This is shade 4, which is, I think this is shade 4 out of 5, so the colour, it's not my colour at all. I'd say, I was kind of looking at swatches online, I'd probably be like a 1 or a 2, because like as I said, I'm very pale. So it comes out white, like so, and then as you work it into your skin, it goes darker. So see how dark that is. My face is usually that colour-ish anyway, so I'm not commenting on the colour itself. I'm going to talk about kind of the longevity and how it lasted on me. So the first time I wore it, the Milky Boost, and the thing is, I think it's more of like a complexion evener outer rather than a foundation. I think if you have drier skin, I think it will look nice, but on my oily skin, it just didn't work. I thought that it was quite patchy when it went on, but again, I think that might have something to do with the colour. I wonder if I had shade 2 or like the lighter shade, if the kind of patchiness will be less obvious, you know, because I felt with this I had to kind of bring it like all the way down there, all the way to my hairline, whereas I'd say if I had like the normal colour it would have been fine. It was just how it wore on me that I was like, what is happening? Yeah, one of the days I had put it on, I'd say about like lunchtime, and then I looked at myself in the mirror, else I was on Insta stories, talking to camera. It was just patchy, so patchy. I could see parts of my skin underneath because it was so dark. And again, I wonder if I had a lighter shade, would that be a thing? It was just quite oily on my skin, but then it is quite a moisturising consistency. So I think maybe just with my skin type being like the oily bits there, it just didn't suit that. So I'm going to see if any of my dry skinned pals would like to try this and get their response, and then I will do a blog post on it. I'm going to see if I can get my hand on the lighter shade and then give like a proper review, but so far no. I don't think it's something that I'm going to be reaching for, because if I went out in public looking like I did in my room that night, I'd be like, huh. I've tried it with powders again, but again I feel that it just doesn't wear well on my skin. Maybe my skin is just scaldy at the moment. It kind of is because bloody winter. Next up we have the Becca Hydro Mist Set and Refresh Powder. This is what it looks like. Oh, I bought this for myself before Christmas. I went into Space NK and I was like, I am feeling like I need to treat myself. And I'd seen a few people on YouTube talking about this. I think Tati Glam Life Guru was one of them. So this is what it looks like, and then that's the powder. Oh, that's the powder itself. So you can see it has that little mesh kind of sifter in there. This powder, it's got the weirdest consistency and it's very intriguing. So looks like a normal powder. When you touch the powder, I know it's like with my scaldy hands, you can feel that it feels cool. It's like absolutely cool to the touch, and then when you apply it to your skin, it feels like it's wet. Oh, it's so weird. It feels like I'm putting water on my skin. Anyway, I've worn this a few times. Now, this is a translucent powder. I've worn it a few times, and it's a powder that you would have to pat on your skin. Do I have a brush? No, I don't want to like mess up my foundation. I had a couple of the girls try it out in work before Christmas as well, just to see what they thought. And poor Irene, she was like kind of working into the skin, and it started to move her foundation underneath it. And I was like, oh, sorry about that. And so I think it's one of those powders that has to be kind of patted into the skin. But then because it's like a translucent one, your natural kind of inkling is to like do that with that noise, kind of work it into the skin. I'm not a baker when it comes to baking stuff under my eyes. Maybe it'll work better that way. I'm going to hold on to it. I'm going to give it another few more goes, but it's not something that I've been reaching for at all. Something else that I didn't like, sorry, the Be Perfect brow pencils. They launched, when did they launch? I think before Christmas. It says that they're smudge proof, sweat proof, life proof, and so I'm real weird when it comes to my brows. First of all, these mini brow pencils, oh, like that shaped what's that thing called, like nib tip thingy, are my favourites, because I have like scaldy little eyebrows. Anything that's bigger than that just makes it look like they've been drawn on. So I love the shape. I love the fact that it has the spoolie on the end. Just the texture is too hard for me. I'll show you now. Nothing comes off. Like I really have to press down or kind of like warm up the pencil. And my poor little eyebrows, they do be red when I try to use this. I think I'm so used to a softer pencil. These are my two go-tos, the Benefit Precisely My Brow and then the Catrice Ultra Slimatic Brow Pencil as well. They are softer in formula, and this is like super soft. Jenny is like extra soft. And I'd say this is kind of like the more medium level of soft, whereas this, just the texture is just too hard for my little skin. But the colours are nice though. I used it there the other day and it looked like I had a powder on. I couldn't get those kind of fine brow strokes that I would usually be able to get. But anyway, so maybe I'm just real delicate in my eyebrow area, I don't know. Next up we have the Scott Barnes Pumped Up Mascara. Packaging is beautiful. This just didn't do much for me and my lashes. I'm very particular when it comes to mascara. Usually with me, I know what I like. It just has like a regular brush, but then again, I don't like to judge a mascara by its brush. I just think the formula of this mascara, it's just too wet, it's too thin. Why did I say that? Too thin? And I felt that it weighed my lashes down. I felt one coat did nothing. And so as I was applying like that second coat, it was gonna give me like a little bit of something, something, and then the lashes just went yeah, so unfortunately it's a no for me. See, when it comes to mascaras, I love length, volume, thickness, lift, curl, separation. I want to look like now I'm trialing another mascara at the moment, which I'm not mad on, but I only used it for the first time, so I didn't want to include it in this video. So I'll try it a few more times and see how I get on. But I feel like my lashes just feel heavy. I can see them when I'm looking at you. Like they should be kind of like this. Okay, that's beautiful. That's my thumbnail. In a bathroom clear out a few weeks ago, and I found the L'Occitane, what is it called? Revitalizing Fresh Shampoo and Conditioner. This is the conditioner. First of all, I enjoyed that it has the pump action. But as you can see, I just have the conditioner because I'm not mad on it. The shampoo is fab. It's everything I love in a shampoo. It gives like loads of suds. You don't have to use loads. You love the pump when you're in the shower. You don't have to be picking up the bottle and going like that and then try to close it, put it down. You can just go whereas the conditioner is just too heavy for my hair. I don't have conditioner in my hair at the moment because I was going to curl it. And I can't use conditioner when I'm going to curl it because my hair is too silky. I feel like conditioner can make my hair feel kind of, what's the word, like heavy and lank. And I found that with this one, I could spend ages in the shower trying to rinse it out, and it still felt when I came out that I hadn't rinsed my conditioner out, and that wrecked my head. I had to wear it up, or I had to put like loads of dry shampoo in it. And it's for daily use as well. And like when I put conditioner in, I only put it from like about the ends down. I don't put it in the roots. Shampoo is fab, conditioner just didn't work on my hair type. And finally, we have another one from Clarins. It's the Ombre Satin, what is it called? Cream Eyeshadow Satin Finish in the shade 8 Glossy Coral. Now I love Coral, I love Clarins. Coral and Clarins, they usually get it right. They brought out a few blushes there. The Jolly, what's it called? Jolly Rouge blushes. Beautiful. And I have a couple of these satin, what they're called, Ombre Satins, which I love. I have one of them actually, it's the Purple Rain one in my monthly favourites over on Instagram if you want to go and have a little look. It is fabulous. It makes a perfect base but also gives a wash of colour. This just doesn't have enough colour payoff for me. Let me try and show you here. Okay, so you go like this. That's what it looks like. So you see it's like, oh, it's quite shimmery, it's beautiful. And then it just doesn't translate onto my skin. I was trialing out like a few of the new Clarins products. The new blush is gorgeous. I'll talk about that another day. But I just found with this on the eyes, it just didn't give me enough. Because like I like if I'm gonna have like a little bit of sparkler, a little bit of shimmer to look like this. It makes for a nice, if you love the no makeup, if you had like a bronzer in the crease and if you had this kind of patch on the eye, it gives a hint of shimmer, but it's definitely a no makeup look product, if that makes sense. Yeah, and I tried it as a blush as well and it seemed to like move the foundation underneath it, so unfortunately it's a no for me. If it had been like maybe a little bit creamier, maybe a little less shimmer in it, a little bit more pigment, because I love wearing coral on my eyes as well, especially in the crease. I think it warms up any look. I think that it makes my eyes look greener, and yeah, anyway, butcher listen. Anyway, those are just some of the products that just made me go wah 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 over the last few months. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and let me know what products that you have been disappointed by, or maybe you've seen people raving about it and you're like, I don't get it. Maybe you've seen something that I've been speaking about and raving about and you're like, what is wrong with you? Let me know in the comments below and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Okay, bye. Okay, bye.